Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Active Listening. I'm your host, Alyssa, and I am so happy you're here with me today. You know, learning English isn't just about memorizing long lists of words or complicated grammar rules. It's about being able to express yourself naturally, especially when talking about your everyday life. We use so many common phrases, so many expressions, to describe what we do from the moment we wake up until we finally go to sleep. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. Have you ever watched an American movie or a TV show and heard someone casually ask, "Hey, how was your day?" Or, "What did you get up to today?" These seem like simple questions, right? But to answer them naturally, to really describe your day, you need specific English expressions. Today, we're going to help you do just that. We're going to explore a whole bunch of common, useful phrases that native speakers use all the time to talk about their routines. My goal for you today is to not just hear these phrases, but to truly feel them, to understand them deeply, and to start thinking and speaking in English about your daily life. I'll share details about my own typical day. And as I walk you through it, we'll uncover these fantastic expressions together. We'll break them down, give you lots of examples, and even have little moments for you to practice right along with me. So get comfortable, relax, and let's dive into the amazing world of everyday English. Let's start right at the very beginning of the day. That moment when you first open your eyes. For me, if I'm really, really lucky, the first sound I hear is my gentle alarm clock. Sometimes I'll even hit the snooze button once or twice. You know, just to get a few more precious minutes of sleep. That's when your alarm goes off, and you press that button to make it quiet for a few minutes so you can drift back to sleep. Many of us do it, right? So, hit the snooze button. Try saying that with me. Hit the snooze button. Good. Then, eventually, I have to jump out of bed. Or on some mornings, I slowly roll out of bed. Jump out of bed means you get up quickly, perhaps with energy. Roll out of bed is more like a slow, perhaps even reluctant movement to get up. Think about your own mornings. Do you jump out of bed or roll out of bed? But honestly, more often than not, luck isn't quite on my side. Instead of an alarm, I'm usually jolted awake by the sound of one of my kids, maybe my daughter Lily, calling out, "Mommy!" And that means I have to get out of bed first thing. Did you notice how I use the phrase "first thing" there? It's a really common and natural way to talk about something you do immediately. Right away. You can use it at the beginning of a phrase like, "First thing in the morning, I hear my alarm." Or you can put it at the end of a sentence like, "I have to get out of bed first thing." We use it to emphasize that something happens right at the start of a period. For example, if your boss tells you, "Please send me that report first thing tomorrow morning," it means as soon as you start your workday tomorrow, that report should be your priority. It's always first thing. We don't say first of the things or the first thing of. Just first thing. For me, after getting out of bed first thing, I always, and I mean always, head straight to the kitchen to make a cup of hot tea. My husband Leo loves coffee, but honestly, I'm a complete amateur when it comes to making it. I'm quite clueless. You could say someone is clueless if they have no idea how to do something, or if they don't understand something at all. So when it comes to coffee, I'm clueless. I wouldn't even know where to begin. So for me, it's always tea. I might say, I wake up and make tea first thing. It's a beautiful, natural phrase for your everyday life. After I'm fully awake and my tea is ready, I usually head to the kitchen to start making breakfast for everyone. Head to simply means to go in a particular direction or to a particular place. So I head to the kitchen. I don't say I go to the kitchen, which is fine, but head to sounds a bit more natural and less formal. Try it. I head to work. We head to the beach. Sometimes my kids, Lily and Finn, and I will read a storybook or play a quick game while we eat. We do this because not everyone in our house is a morning person, and sometimes at least one of us wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. So having a little fun helps to lighten the mood and really helps us start our day off right. Let's unpack those. What exactly is a morning person? Well, it's someone who naturally wakes up feeling happy, energetic, and ready to tackle the day. They often don't need much time to become fully functional. My friend Mark, for example, is a total morning person. He's up at 5 a.m., goes for a run, and is already working by 7 a.m. Me? Not so much. Are you a morning person? Think about it. Do you feel wide awake and cheerful as soon as you wake up? Or do you prefer a slow start? And then there's the phrase, woke up on the wrong side of the bed. This is a fun, metaphorical expression. It doesn't mean there's actually a good or bad side of your bed. It simply means you wake up feeling grumpy, a bit cranky, or just not very happy. Maybe you're easily annoyed or a bit irritable. If someone is being a bit unpleasant or moody in the morning, you might ask them, "Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today?" You might even groan and say yourself, "Ugh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I definitely need some coffee." Or, if you're like me, a strong cup of tea to turn things around. It's a great way to describe a bad mood that starts early in the day. After breakfast, things usually get a bit hectic as we get ready to leave. I typically drop my son, Finn, off at preschool. This phrasal verb, to drop off, is super useful and can be used for both people and things. You heard me use it for people. I drop my son, Finn, off at school. You can also say, I drop off my son at preschool. It means to take someone or something to a place and leave them there. For example, could you drop me off at the library? Or, I need to drop off these dry cleaning clothes on my way to work. It's important to remember that little word off. If you just say, I dropped my laptop at the repair shop, it means your laptop accidentally fell on the ground and broke. So remember to say, I dropped off my laptop at the repair shop, or I dropped my laptop off at the repair shop. It makes all the difference in the meaning. After I drop Finn off, I usually have my own commute to work. Commute refers to your regular journey between your home and your workplace or school. Many people commute by car, by bus, or by train. My commute isn't too long, thankfully. I live pretty close, so I don't get stuck in traffic very often. Stuck in traffic means you're in your car and it's not moving because there are too many other cars on the road. It's a frustrating situation that many people experience daily. Can you think of someone you know who often gets stuck in traffic on their commute? Once I arrive at my office, I like to settle in first thing. Settle in means to get comfortable and organized in a new place or situation. You might settle in at a new desk or settle in at home after a long trip. Then I usually dive into my work. Dive into means to start doing something with a lot of energy or enthusiasm, usually something that requires a lot of focus. So I dive into my work, meaning I start immediately and with full attention. Usually, I spend some time catching up on emails. I also go over any lessons I'm preparing for my students. And sometimes I'll just call a friend to catch up. This phrasal verb, to catch up, or to catch up on, is used so much in daily life, and you'll find it really useful too. Let's imagine you've had an incredibly busy week, and now it's the weekend. You look around your house and it's a mess. My couch right now is covered in blankets, and my desk has papers everywhere. Oh boy, I definitely need to catch up on chores. I need to catch up on some cleaning that I didn't get to during the week. Can you guess what this means? It means there's something you've delayed doing. Maybe because you didn't have time or just didn't want to, and now it's time to get it done. So you can say, I need to catch up on some emails, or I need to catch up on some cleaning. I also said I call my friend to catch up. This has a similar idea. It means I haven't spoken to my friend in a while, and now we're going to talk about everything that's happened since our last conversation. So if you run into someone at the grocery store whom you haven't seen in ages, you might say, Hey, do you want to get some coffee and catch up? It means, I haven't seen you in a while, and I want to hear everything that's been going on. It's a very friendly way to suggest reconnecting. I also mentioned that I go over some lessons. This is a very common and simple way to say review. You'll hear this a lot in the workplace. You might ask a coworker for help saying, Hey, could you go over this report before I send it? Maybe you're writing a super important email, and you want to make sure everything is perfect. You could politely ask, Hey, when you have a moment, could you go over this email before I send it? I would really appreciate it. It's a very polite way to ask for a review, and if the other person is kind, they'll probably feel good that you value their opinion. Around midday, I usually take a break for lunch. Take a break simply means to stop working for a short period to rest or eat. Sometimes I grab a bite to eat, which means to get a quick meal. I might pack a lunch from home, or occasionally I'll eat out with a colleague. Eat out means to eat at a restaurant instead of at home. After lunch, I might stretch my legs, which means to go for a short walk to get some exercise after sitting for a while. Think about your own workday. When do you take a break? Do you usually pack a lunch or eat out? As the afternoon progresses, I start to wrap things up at work. Wrap things up means to finish or complete tasks. It's a common way to say you're getting close to the end of something. I aim to wrap things up by 4 p.m. Then it's time to call it a day. Call it a day means to stop working for the day. So when I finish my work, I call it a day. This is a great natural expression that everyone uses. Once I've called it a day, I head home. Remember, head home means to go in the direction of home. I might say, I'm on my way back now, which means I'm currently traveling home. While I'm on my way back, I might need to run some errands. Run errands means to make a short trip to do something, like going to the grocery store, picking up dry cleaning, or going to the post office. It's usually a collection of small tasks. For example, I need to run some errands after work, so I might be home a little late. What kind of errands do you usually run? When we get home, sometimes Finn and I will have a little tea party together and chat about his day. Usually, while we're eating our snack and sipping our tea, he starts to open up about his day. If he doesn't, I might ask him some specific questions like, how many giant holes did you dig today? Or did you jump in the big leaf pile? You see, Finn goes to an outdoor nature school, so they play outside all day, no matter the weather. They're pretty tough kids with lots of warm clothes. Asking these kinds of specific questions can really help him recall and review his day in an easier way. You might hear people in movies or TV shows use broad questions like, "Tell me about your day," or "What did you do today?" Or even worse, "What did you learn in school today?" Generally, we don't really like answering these broad questions, especially at the end of a long day when you just want to relax and decompress. It's tough to summarize your entire day in just a few words. So maybe when you were a kid, if your mom asked, "What did you learn in school today?" you probably just said, "Oh, nothing," because it was too hard to summarize. So here's a tip. If you have a significant other, or if you have kids, or you're just asking someone about their day, I highly recommend doing something together first, spending some quality time together. You don't have to have a tea party, although I really do recommend it. It's super fun. All you need is some tea, maybe a little snack like sliced apples or some dried fruit, whatever you like. Just spending quality time together can really help someone to open up. This phrase, "to open up," is a beautiful concept. When you're talking with someone new, there's usually a bit of a wall. You don't immediately share your deepest thoughts. If someone asks me, "Hey Alyssa, how are you doing today?" No matter how I'm truly feeling, I'll usually just say, "Oh, pretty good. What about you?" Because I'm not ready to open up in a casual, passing situation. We're just not comfortable sharing our inner thoughts so quickly. But when you spend quality time together, that wall slowly starts to disappear, and someone might be more willing to be vulnerable. That's the idea when you open up. You're willing to talk about your struggles, something difficult in your life, or something really meaningful, not just the surface level shallow things. When you truly open up to someone, you're being your authentic self. So remember these tips next time you want someone to open up to you. All right, let's move on to the next part of my day. When the weather is nice, our neighbors, the Chungs, often come over and hang out in our backyard. Come over means to visit someone at their home. And hang out means to casually spend time, usually with other people. We just hang out together. It can also be a noun, like, "This is our favorite hangout." Or as an adjective describing a place, "It's a hangout spot." This tells you it's a casual, informal place, not a professional or private one, where people just go to spend time together. So we might hang out with friends, have some snacks, play games, or just chat. Our backyard is very sunny, which makes it a favorite hangout spot. After hanging out with friends, as the sun starts to go down, we usually come inside and start to cook dinner. Cook dinner is straightforward, but it's an essential daily phrase. While we're eating, we always try to sit down as a family at the table. It's so nice to try and have some quality time together. I just used 2 important phrases I want to highlight. One is as a family. This simply means the whole group, the family group. But we can use this same structure in other ways. We could say as a neighborhood, as a community, as a department, or as an office. It's talking about all the people within that particular group. For example, if you have kids, you might say, "It's important to spend some time together as a couple without your kids." This refers to just you and your significant other. It's really important to have that time together occasionally. The other expression I used is quality time. Remember, quality time means you're not just having a shallow, rushed experience together. You're not trying to get somewhere. You're simply enjoying each other's presence. I truly encourage you to try and spend some quality time with someone this week. It means you don't need to go anywhere or have a strict schedule. You just have a full hour to take a leisurely walk with a friend, or chat on the phone, or play a game with your kids. It's about being together with no agenda, just enjoying the shared moment. At dinner, my 4-year-old Finn actually loves asking questions the most. He goes around one by one, asking everyone, "What was the best part of your day?" And once everyone has answered, he then asks, "What was the most challenging part of your day?" It's so funny what kids will say in response to these questions. This helps to spark conversation and encourage everyone to open up. After dinner, we clean up the kitchen. Clean up means to make a place tidy and free of dirt or mess. Then it's time to put the kids to bed. We help them get ready, which might include brushing their teeth, reading a story, and singing a song. Then we tuck them in. Tuck them in means to arrange the blankets around them in a comfortable way, usually with a gentle pat or a kiss goodnight. And then we tell them to sleep tight. Now, one of these expressions requires a bit of caution. I said, "We put the kids to bed." This means we help them get ready for sleep. But you have to be very careful, because if you change the word bed to sleep, it means something very, very different. If you put someone to sleep, it's usually for a pet. For example, I had to put my dog to sleep last week. This is a gentle way of saying you had to euthanize your dog, perhaps because they were very old or suffering. It's a very difficult thing to do, but often necessary. So please make sure you do not say, "I had to put my kids to sleep." Instead, always say, "I had to put my kids to bed." Much, much better. Of course, if you say "your kids," people will probably understand what you mean. But to be absolutely clear and use the best expression, say, "I put my kids to bed every night at 7 o'clock." It's a beautiful, natural phrase. The final thing I say to my kids before they go to bed is "sleep tight." Tight? What does that mean? This is a fun expression that's actually a shortened version of an older, longer phrase. Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Of course, we hope you don't have bugs in your bed. This is a very old saying. Sometimes people say the full expression, but often we just shorten it to "good night, sleep tight," or simply "sleep tight." It just means, "I hope you sleep well." So, if you hear people say this in English movies or TV shows, or if you want to use it yourself, it's a perfectly natural and common thing to say at the end of the night. After the kids are finally in bed, Leo, my husband, and I have some precious downtime. This is a great expression. Downtime. It means you have nothing else to do except relax and unwind. It's essential to have downtime, especially before you go to bed. If you're looking at your phone or scrolling through social media while you're in bed, oh no. Stop that right away. It's very bad for your sleep. You really need to have some downtime. Give yourself an hour-long pause before bed to try and slow your mind down. Having some downtime with someone, or even just by yourself, simply relaxing, is absolutely essential. During our downtime, sometimes we catch up on chores, or maybe we catch up on a book we're reading. Or we might just chat about our day and decompress. To decompress means to relax and reduce stress after a period of work or tension. It's important to decompress before bed to get a good night's sleep. How do you like to decompress after a busy day? When the day is finally over, it's time to hit the hay. This is a casual and very common idiom. To hit the hay does not mean I'm a farmer with a last-minute chore. No, it simply means to go to sleep. Ugh, I need to hit the hay. It's like saying, I'm really tired. I need to go to bed. If I've had a really busy day, I might just sleep like a log. Does a log move? Does a log make any sounds? Nope. It's just a fallen tree, nice, silent, and still. So, to sleep like a log means you slept very soundly, very quietly, and peacefully, without moving much or waking up. If you tell someone, I was so tired last night, I slept like a log, they'll understand you had a very deep, uninterrupted sleep. But if I'm feeling a bit stressed, or if there's a lot going on in my mind, I might toss and turn a bit before finally falling asleep. To toss and turn, on the other hand, means you did not sleep peacefully, or at least you didn't go to bed peacefully. Your body and mind are too active, so you move around a lot in bed, unable to find a comfortable position or clear your thoughts. You might say, I couldn't sleep at all last night. I just tossed and turned. And fingers crossed, my children sleep all night, so I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to help them. Fingers crossed is just a fun, informal way to say, I hope that, or I wish that. It's a gesture people make for good luck. So fingers crossed that my kids sleep all night, and me too, and that's pretty much my day. Wow, we've covered so many useful phrases today. From the moment you jump out of bed, first thing, to when you finally hit the hay and sleep like a log, English has so many natural ways to describe your day. The best way to really make these phrases your own, to truly think and speak in English about your daily life, is to use them. So here's a challenge for you. I want to know, is your day similar to mine? Can you use any of these expressions to talk about your own daily life? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Pick just one or two of these expressions and use them in a sentence to tell me something about your day. For example, you could say, I always make tea first thing in the morning. Sometimes I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I have to drop my sister off at school every day. After work, I usually catch up on chores. I try to have quality time with my family every evening. I usually hit the hay around 10 p.m. Choose one or try a few. The more you practice, the more natural these expressions will feel to you. Thank you so much for learning English with me today. I hope you enjoyed this detailed journey through a typical day. Remember, consistent practice is key. I will see you again next Friday for a brand new lesson here on the English Active Listening channel. Bye for now.